For those people who had a lot of questions of whether Edna is my biological daughter, well, there you have your answer. She is my daughter. Don't you think so? Do I qualify?
Yeah.
But why you cry, Edna? Why your eyes watery? Baba, don't cry. You know when you cry, you'll also make me cry. Don't cry. Come here. Aki Baba, I didn't want this video to be emotional. They've come a long way. I'm still going to be there for you as I've always been. Now you're making me cry. Don't cry. I'll be here for you, I promise. Sinil. I'll be here for you. You're going to be great, okay? As long as I'm alive, you're going to be great. So, don't cry. Wow, Edna. Hi everyone, and welcome to this video. I hope all of you are doing great wherever you're watching us from. So something interesting happened this week. We hit the 100 subscriber mark. Yay! I know it doesn't feel like much because we've just started this channel. I've actively been posting videos, I think, for the past 1 month, and it's actually exciting to see the feedback that I'm getting from everyone, and it gives me more reason to keep posting and keep making more videos. So today, in the spirit of Mother's Day, I have decided to share something very personal to me and something that I've been keeping from a lot of people for a long time. And if you knew me in high school, I was known to be a very stubborn girl. And just based on that, I think when people look at my life, they assume that I never grew up or I never changed. You can go ahead and tag your parents for the friends I used to have back in the days, because I was the child you're not allowed to interact with or to socialize with. So this question, as you've seen in the title of the video today, is, was I a teen mom? And if so, where have I been keeping her all these years? So today we'll be answering some of those questions, and you'll get to meet my daughter, who is Edna, in a short while. And we're going to talk about basically our journey, how it has been. And I guess you're going to find out if indeed I was a teen mom, and if indeed I kept her from the public for all these years. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you learned something from this video. And if you are in the same situation as Edna is, I hope if you are a teenager somewhere, I hope you get encouraged, and I hope you do know that there are actually good people out here who really care. Okay, so yeah, let's get to it. Okay, so guys, this is Edna. And I believe this is the puzzle that we are about to work out today and find out more about her and who she is to me. So maybe Edna can introduce herself and tell you guys her full names and yeah, her class and where she is at in life currently.
Okay, my name is Edna Mokobi, and I'm in Form 4 right now. And I'm the firstborn in a family of 4 siblings. Yeah.
I think what a lot of people want to find out about you and me and our relationship is, how did we meet? And if at all, you are indeed my biological child. And I'm going to start. So Edna is a daughter to my late uncle. It's called Uncle George, and Uncle George is my mom's firstborn brother. That making him my uncle. But my uncle passed on around the time Edna, I think, was in class 7. Were you in class 7? Yeah, he passed on around the time Edna was in class 7. And I had just given birth to Imani, and I wasn't able to attend the funeral. And that really affected me so much, because my uncle is the one who actually took care of me and raised me when I was young. So we had quite a relationship, we had quite a connection. So the fact that I wasn't able to attend his funeral really broke me. And I think up to today, not being able to bury him, I still feel like he's still alive. You know, he's still watching me. And for me, this is one of the reasons why this story is very important to me, because it goes a long way. The wife, who's now Edna's biological mom, by the way, who's still alive, and she also has siblings, as she has mentioned. I talked to her mom and I was like, oh, I feel so bad I never attended the burial, and I feel like I need to do something for you, but I don't know what to do. And then she mentioned that Edna has just finished class 8, and if I could give her any kind of support that I can for her to join Form 1, it will go a long way. So yeah, so the journey of Edna joining this beautiful family begins. I got in touch with the mom. I told her I've decided to take Edna so that she can be my firstborn. Now she has a stylish young funky mom. And at that time Edna was staying at her auntie's place at Kasarani. So I remember driving all the way there, by the way, and my heart was racing, because I was like, oh my god, I'm going to become a mom to a teenager. I don't even know if I'll do it right. You know, all these things just, you know, come through your mind. But I met her and she was such a sweet girl. She was young, she was tiny, she was not as big as she looks right now. She had a very small body. I remember driving with her from Thika Road, and we didn't talk much in the car.
Of course.
We were going to Auntie Rosette's place. The first, there was I think was it first? The night of crossing to New Year?
No.
It was Christmas.
It was on 15th.
Oh, December.
But
there was a function we were attending at it's called what, that building where we usually go? The one next
Gen Mall.
Yeah, there was a function at Next Gen Mall. The funniest thing is that the first stop was at it was like a show. The Next Gen Mall was being open, I remember, and they had like musicians there performing that evening. So the first stop I'm taking this girl was to go and dance. Though it was a family function, like all the kids were there. It was a kids festival sort of. So I'm sure you must have been wondering, now who is this mother who is taking me to dance on the first day? Me, Auntie Rosette, and Leroy, and was Auntie Gladys there?
No,
it was not there.
Just Auntie Rosette, Ran, and Leroy.
Yeah, Ran and Leroy. Because we got there late in the evening. Mm. And I told Rosette, this is now my daughter officially. She was like, good luck. Because I think she knew I was gonna manage, because she was also one of the few people who really encouraged me. And yeah, so we came to the house. I introduced you to the rest of the family. I think there was Imani at that time.
Yeah.
I hadn't given birth to Taraji. First, the question I want to ask you is, how did you find out that you're supposed to come?
Okay, well, I was staying at my auntie's place at Kasarani. First, a phone came through and she told me,
there's something in your eye. Continue.
She told me that your mom has told me that there's someone who is willing to take you to live with her, and that person is willing to pay for you your school fees and take you to school, say up to Form 4. And I was like, what? I didn't know the person. Yeah, I didn't know the person, and I was sort of fear, how am I going to, who is that person, and
how is she going to treat you?
Yeah.
Is she going to be good to you?
Yeah. Yeah. So a few days later, then another phone came, and then my auntie told me that now the person who was going to take you to school, she's coming for you. And I was like, who? Yeah, because I was like, who is that? Who is coming for me up to here where I stay with you and take me to
her house?
Yeah, and stay with her, and then she pays my school fees. How? And then she told me, you just arrange your things, be ready, the person is coming. And then when you came, I didn't believe, because actually I didn't know you very well, and just
the reason why you don't know me very well is because you are staying with your grandmother.
yeah.
The rest of your siblings are the ones I think who are at my grandmother's house. So she was staying with her maternal grandma.
Okay, I was actually wondering, how am I going to stay with you, and how am I going to catch up with you, because you looked very, very young. And yeah.
You are saying, mama yangu. But anyway, okay, let's move to the next topic. I think we've talked so much about that. How did you feel about the new life?
Okay, how I felt about my new life, I was kind of excited and somehow nervous, because I was excited because I've found another mom who is willing to pay my school fees and take care of me, and I was nervous because
you didn't know this mom.
Yeah. And how am I going to live with you?
You didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
In short, but for me, surprisingly, other than the fact that I wasn't sure of what I was doing at all, I had never raised a teenager before, and I didn't know. I had no plan of how we were going to live. All I knew was I was just going to provide for you and make sure that you finish high school, because that's what I kept telling myself. Okay, I don't know how I'm going to do this, but all I know is that I have to see her through high school. And mark you, at the time, did I even have a job? Oh yeah, so I think at the time I was still working, but a year after, SportPesa had a branch called Pambazuka. By the way, that's another story. That's a story for another day. I lost my job. I was pregnant, and everyone else went back to work after I gave birth. I mean, my friends were calling me, they're telling me, oh, you haven't received the letter. I was like, which letter? You haven't received the letter? Which letter? You haven't received a phone call? Which phone call? So finally I came to realize that actually everyone was called back to work, and I was one of the people, or rather, I don't know if I was the only one who wasn't called. And I remember I called my boss, and I was told that they're giving me time to take care of my child, so that's why I wasn't allowed to go back to work, which I feel like was a bit unfair, because I have 3 children. I mean, and the baby was 2 months and a half old, and I would have managed. You know, I have bills to pay, guys. I have bills to pay. You just don't make that decision for me. But look at where we are. We didn't die, did we? You have never been chased out of school because I lost my job. So you say God is great, right?
Yeah.
So how has your life changed since? Now let me start. How has my life changed since you came? Wow, that's a big one. There are things I used to do which I still struggle with. You know, I'm still young. I used to party, I used to enjoy my good time. But now with Edna, I have to be a role model. There's a way I could dress when I'm leaving the house, when I'm going out with my friends, when I'm going out, you know, there's a way I could just dress without really caring much, because, you know, my kids are still young. They don't even know what is happening. But since Edna came into my life, I feel like even the things I used to do before, I find myself questioning if I really have to do this, you understand? Because she's looking up to me to be her role model. And yes, sometimes I fall short, sometimes I'm not perfect, sometimes I fall short, but I feel like I'm moving more towards being a person that she can look up to. So I'd say that part of me, I had to adjust. Also, I guess the things that I tolerate, even with friends, Like, I want her to learn from me. Like, you don't have to compromise in this life, you know. And you have to know your worth. If it's a friendship that is not working for you, feel free to walk out of it. Don't be in toxic relationships just because, oh, they are my friends. I think we've had this conversation before about friendships and peer pressure. And I think the fact that I went through that, I am the best person to guide her through high school, because I have been there, I have done that, and I know the consequences of my decisions when I was young, and I don't want her to go through that. It's like I got a second chance to live my life. I'm reliving my teenagehood afresh through her. So this time round, it has to be perfect. Okay?
Okay. Now, since I stepped in this house, my life has changed a lot, because first I didn't know how to live with people that much, and now I've learned how to live with people, and I have learned how to be so remorseful and so thankful for, like, I was not that remorseful and thankful.
Yeah, you never used to say sorry. You never used to say thank you.
Yeah, but now I'm proud. I've learned how to be remorseful and how to be more thankful. I have 2 families with 2 moms, and I'm lucky about it. And actually, I think I'm the
luckiest person.
yeah, I think I'm the luckiest person, because I have 2 moms who actually can take good care of me and look after me. Yeah, and I thank God for that. Yeah.
Oh, that's so sweet. So the next question is, what has been your greatest fear? For me, I think my greatest fear, to be honest, is just to fail. You know,
Yeah.
my greatest fear has been to fail. Like, what if you don't actually hold on to your education and finish Form 4? Then what? You know, all this will lose meaning. I feel like all eyes are on me, you know. My relatives, my aunties, my uncles, all of them are watching me. And given my past, some of them probably could feel that I'm not the best person to raise a teenager. Like, what can I teach you? You know,
Yeah.
how can I guide you? If my mom could not do it, who am I to do it? Who am I to do it for you? You understand? But you know, Edna has not disappointed so far, and I thank God. If it were not for this corona by day, I'm very sure right now we'll be counting a few more months to you finishing, which maybe we should still be counting for you to finish Form 4.
Yeah.
And I cannot wait for the day you graduate. I cannot wait for the day you pass your exams. Most importantly, for my uncle, you know, I think whatever he is, he's happy. I think whatever he is, he's proud of me, the person I've become. And I think he's also proud of you too. Because look at you. Look at you now. You've become a big girl, you've become responsible, you're working hard in school. So I think he would actually be very proud of you too. Okay?
Yeah. Well, even for me, my greatest fear is just that of failing. Because for me, I think if I fail, it will be an embarrassment to you, not even to you alone, but for the whole family. Because right now I have a dream, and I started working on that dream long time ago, and I hope that dream will come true, because I have many siblings behind me, and that's going to be my responsibility. Because for now, like I said, I'm lucky I have 2 moms who are taking good care of me, and now for me, I have to take that care of my siblings. It's gonna be my responsibility.
So, you know, like when we talk about best moments, that is just a wide, I think, question for me. She tops her class, she's hardworking. What else are you? She's fun.
Obedient.
You're obedient. You're obedient. Unajipigia debe. You're obedient. Oh, she's a prefect in school. She's a class prefect.
No.
She's a
Deputy lieutenant.
Hey! When did that happen? The last time I checked, you were a class prefect.
It happened
Before?
last year.
before you closed school,
Yeah,
isn't it?
before you closed.
Yeah, because I remember the last time I checked, you were prefect. And now we are getting free sweaters from school. Free waters are we getting from school?
Free sweaters.
Which is very free times, free sweaters, which is very good. I mean, ananisaidia kidogo hapo, you know. So if, you know, you can imagine now I'm raising a prefect, you know, and that is such a big deal for me, and I'm really proud of you for that, you know.
Yeah.
Because ungetaka kunipatia stress, you would easily have done that, but you made it so easy for me to be a mom. Actually, what makes me very proud is when I come to school to represent you, and then everyone is looking at me. They're like, "Hey, is that your mom? Is that your mom?" I'm like, "Yes." I don't tell them anything. You know, even your teachers don't know.
Yeah, even my friends actually don't know.
They don't know that I'm not your biological mom.
Yeah.
But I'm your mom. So I'm sure they always look at me and wonder, "Hey, na mamake ni mdogo." Even when I go for those class meetings where you do academic days, when you do subject after subject. So when I reach there and I'm like, "Edna Mukobi, and who are you?" I'm her mom. Then you see the chair looking at you like, "Really? Not even a sister?" I'm like, "No, I'm her mom." And then, I mean, those are some of the proudest moments, I guess. When people look at you and they don't think you're able to do something, which you're actually doing, you know. And I also don't think I've ever missed any of your functions in school. I've always represented all of them. And what else? The praise giving day. There's one time they forgot to call your name for your present, and I was very mad because I had bought a new dress. Edna, I think, well, you're number 3. You were number 1 in some subjects.
Yeah.
For the whole stream, the entire, it was now Form 3, and that, was it Form 3 or Form 2? Form 2. She told me she's going to get an award. People, didn't I buy a new dress? I bought a new dress. I did my nails, I did my makeup. I wanted to, you know, I wanted her to be proud of me. And this was a moment that my parents never got, by the way, to be honest. So for me, that moment, like I told you, I'm reliving my youth. I'm reliving my teenagehood through you. So I had bought a new dress, and then this teacher forgot to call Edna's name. I was so mad, as if I was the one who was going to get that award. You remember how I cussed all the way home?
Yeah.
But anyway, so those are some of my best moments, I think. Also the fact that you really care about your siblings. Like when you're around, I don't have to worry so much about Kina Leroy, Kina Imani. It's more like having like a grown-up child in the house. You're always taking care of your sisters and your brothers. And you know, it's a plus. It makes me feel comfortable when you're around. So, asante sana. You can also share your moments.
So for me, my best moments, is when we go out for a vacation, like the whole of us. We go for a vacation to Mombasa maybe, and we have fun. Yeah, and then another moment for me, my first birthday, I think I did it in this house. Yeah.
First ever birthday, I did it in this house, and I was so proud, and I thank you for that. And another moment, you had never had a birthday cake before?
Yeah.
For real?
Yeah.
Oh. But you're going to celebrate many more birthdays to come, don't worry.
Yeah.
And I will not miss any of them. Unless you go out of the country, which you have to buy me a ticket to come and attend it. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so just like any other relationship, there are always challenges, and our next question is, what has been our most challenging moment? For me, that I think was last year, to be very honest. But it was quite a challenge for me. And we had an experience with Edna, which I won't talk much about, that was very disturbing. And it made me question a lot what I'm doing, you know, just as a human being, as a mother, as a parent. And to a point where I actually took her back to her mom. And we had a meeting with all my aunties and all my uncles. For me, I think what I can relate that incident with is peer pressure, which I cannot blame you for, because even me when I was young, I had people who misled me. There's someone who was staying with in that house during that time, and I feel like she was bad influence to you, or rather she was feeding you a lot of stuff in your head or something. I remember I talked to my grandma about it, and I told her, my grandma is still alive, the mother to my mom. I was like, I'm done. I've hung my boots. I cannot do this anymore. You know, we cannot continue living like this. So I remember my grandma asked me a question. You know, you're like a farmer. You remember? So you plowed the land, you put the mbolea, you have waited for the seed to germinate. It has grown. The fruits have come out almost, you know, like when mahindi nataka, actually she used the example of mahindi. Umepanda mahindi. Now the maize is about to produce, the stems are about to produce the fruit, which is the maize. And now you want to hand it over to someone else to enjoy the fruits. That's what she's saying. And then she said, this person you're handing over to will not realize the value and the hard work that you put into your farm. You will not realize the value of how far you've worked hard to get to this point. I think that's what she meant. So it actually made me rethink my decision, and I think we really struggled, we really battled during that time of whether you should stay home or whether you should come back to Nairobi. But eventually we had to come to an agreement, and I think we needed to sit down as well together and make the decision that you'll finish your education from here, right? I think that was the most challenging, because I remember I called your mom, I was crying by that. I was telling her, it pains me that I want to do this, but I don't know what else to do. But you know, in that moment I also realized something. I realized that I actually love you very much. You don't know that. I was very scared. I was like, am I doing the right thing by letting you go? And then once I left you at home, I came back and then my life was just empty. I was like, how am I going to do this? I could not live with myself leaving you at home. You understand? So I think in that moment I realized, by the way, this is actually my child. So I want you to know that you're a very big part of my life. Even if sometimes I may not say it, or it may not come out as you wish to, but you are such a big part of my life. And you're my responsibility now. Yeah. So it is my responsibility to also make sure that, you know, I do my best to give you at least what I need to give you to make it in this life, okay? So I don't know what your most challenging moment is.
Okay, my most challenge that I have ever faced, it was actually the one that she has already said, which keeps also perturbing me the whole December, actually, because it was last year, the whole December until we opened school, because I was almost going to change school from Nairobi back home. Yeah, and it was so disturbing. Like, how am I going to start? I'm in Form 4, and how am I going to start new life in a new school that I'm not familiar with? So things keep on running on my mind on how am I going to catch up with the students in that school, teacher. We came to an agreement, and then she actually told me to come back and continue with my studies until I finish Form 4, which was also a nice thing to do for me. Yeah.
I hope you learned a lot from that experience.
Yeah, I learned a lot.
In this life, it's not always easy. You know, you don't get it easy. And my lesson for that particular situation was learn to appreciate what you're given. Okay. Not everyone will care for you as much as I do, so don't take it for granted. Okay.
Yeah.
What plans do you have for the future? Edna wants to be a nurse. I don't know if that has changed. Maybe she will decide to be a YouTuber. But I'm not paying all these school fees. Well, let me be an African mom. I'm not paying all these school fees for you to come and talk on the camera. I think that's what my mom would have said. But whatever it is that you want to do, and if it makes sense to me, now you want to do anything, I support you. No, as long as it makes sense to me. I guess that is what is in for us in the future. I guess it's just to wait for you to finish your school, finish your exams. I hope you pass. You know, in Kitambo when we were young, a nurse was a big deal. It's even a big deal even right now. So you can see with the corona situation, nurses are saving the world. So can you imagine if you are a nurse and I'm also telling people my daughter is actually there? Or even a doctor, who knows? Maybe you'll pass more than you expect. And then you'll become a doctor. Then I'll be stamping, I'll be coming to office every day for lunch. Just for lunch, man.
But it's not bad.
You know, but I want the best for you. In short, I want the best for you. And so far, you've made me proud. Challenges are there, but with God, I think we've really managed. I can't say that it has been a bad experience, to be honest.
Actually, my future plan is, like, as I said earlier, I have a big dream that I started work a long time on it, and I believe it's going to come through, because for now, as I said, I'm in Form 4. I pray that these exams I'm going to do perfectly and excel. After that, I'm going to be a nurse, and actually I want to be called Dr. Edna.
Amen. I can't wait. I think that will be one of the most proudest things that you can ever do. Not for only me, but also for your mom and for your sisters.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what do you have to say to one another? Can I go first?
Okay.
So I think what I can tell Edna is that I'm very proud of her, and I'm very proud of the person that she has become. And my prayer to you is that you excel in life. My prayer to you is that you become compassionate, you become hardworking, you become resilient, because in this life it's not going to be easy all the time. But I think you've proven, and you continue to prove to me that you are cut for this. You're not in this house by mistake. You're in this house because God had a purpose for you. You understand? And I know that you're going to do exceedingly well, and your siblings who are looking up to you are going to be proud of you. So,
yes. First of all, I want to tell you thank you for being with me, and I wish you long life, to be there to take care of us, because it's hard to work. It's hard to work without someone showing you the right thing to do and showing you what you're supposed to do in this time. So I say thank you, and may God bless you.
You're welcome. So that's it from me and my daughter. I guess for those people who had a lot of questions of whether Edna is my biological daughter, well, there you have your answer. She is my daughter. Don't you think so? Very qualified.
Yeah.
But why you cry, Edna? Why your eyes watery? Baba, don't cry. You know when you cry, you'll also make me cry. Don't cry. Come here. Okay, Baba. I didn't want this video to be emotional. They've come a long way. So, I'm still going to be there for you, as I've always been. Now you're making me cry. Don't cry. I'll be here for you, I promise. I'll be here. You're going to be great, okay? As long as I'm alive, you're going to be great. So, don't cry. Wow, Edna.
A few moments later.
Wipe your tears. You see, when you see Edna crying like this, these are unazitanga tears of joy. That's what you always say. These are tears of joy, and unfortunately, we are both very emotional people. Nashangaa nani atakuja kusaidia mwingine saa ile mwingine analia. Because when you start crying, I also cry. Eh? Baba, don't cry. We are in this together. Nilikwambia, have hope, have faith in God that everything will work out to the better. So today I want Edna to close for us this video. Unaambia mafans wetu aje. Eh? we need school fees for university. So please subscribe to this channel so that Edna's mom can get money to pay for her nursing school. Cynthia, what else do you say? To the subscribers, not to me.
So guys, please subscribe to our channel, like, share the videos if you like, and we need more comments,
And more
so that
people,
more comments so that we can know what you guys want, so that we can work on it.
Yeah.
So for today, just subscribe. We need to reach 1,000 subscribers.
So there you have it, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you've learned something from it. Kindly share to encourage someone or whoever out there who needs to see this or who needs to hear this, you know, Cynthia. So thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Bye.
Bye.